Good day, friends. Today we'll be talking about Heelside 180 stand-ups and much more.
Yeah, okay. So, for Heelside 180 stand-ups. So, for standees and that sort of thing, like with free riding and stuff, it's really kind of personal what you want. Like, it's very individual. Like, I prefer a top mount with like about 100, with like a 28-inch wheelbase. I don't know, I'm a fan of center set and offset wheels. Side set wheels, I don't know. I personally don't feel like I have enough control over it, but it's all just personal preference. I like top mounts, like I said before. Drop throughs, for me, tend to be a bit too drifty, but also just depends. For Heelside standees, just want to get on your board. Woo! Ah! Just want to get on your board. Make sure that your stance is like relatively close to your trucks. Like, you don't want to be standing like this trying to do free riding. You want a good solid stance on your board. I like to keep my feet pretty close to the trucks. And yeah, for Heelside stuff, you're going to want to make sure that you keep your heel off the edge of the board, unless you feel comfortable with your concave. I personally just do this to get more leverage over the board. Instead of being like that, I hang my heels off just a little bit. Want to cock your front foot a little bit. Like, you don't want them to just be perpendicular, because that will cause you to flat spot more easily. What we found is if you cock your front foot, you slide in the direction that the foot's pointing, essentially, which will help you not only rotate your body to do the 180, but it'll also help you not flat spot your wheels and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, so when doing free riding, you, in almost all like standees and stuff, you do what is called a setup carve before you actually slide. What a setup carve is it's a little carve that, you know, sets you up for the slide. And so in order to start doing standees and stuff, it's an awesome idea to get super comfy with carving, like, because just so that you can, you know, feel more comfortable initiating the slide and controlling it. So yeah, with carving, for doing Heelside stuff, get really comfortable with really digging into the Heelside carve and getting to where you feel comfortable, almost feeling like you can kick it out in the middle of the carve. Like, you know, you'll be carving and you'll be going into that Heelside carve and it feels like your wheels are going to want to slip and stuff. Get comfortable with that, because, you know, at that point, that's usually when you would break it out into a slide. So yeah, just start off, you know, if you're not already comfortable doing carving, start off doing little carves on a really gentle hill. And yeah, just get to where you can go the length of the road really comfortably. Get to where you can do it more comfortable at slightly higher speeds. And yeah, just do that until you can kind of get your wheels to chatter on those Heelside carves a little bit, because that'll get you really comfortable with the braking point of your wheels. The braking points, the brake release, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, is a point when your wheels lose traction and start sliding. So you get comfortable with when that happens to your wheels, when it feels like it should happen. And yeah, keep in mind that free riding is, like I said, it's kind of like an individual thing. Like, no one free rides exactly the same as someone else. It's like called style. You each have like different styles and way you do things. But way I found works really awesomely as far as weight distribution is I keep my weight pretty centered. I mean, of course, you know, I mean, you got to do weight adjustment for the steepness of the hill and for how fast you're going, but in general, my weight's pretty centered on the board. So there's no real crouch for a 180. I mean, it's not a glove down, so you don't really get super close to the ground unless you feel like it, because that's pretty cool. So when going into a Heelside 180, you're gonna go in and you're gonna do your setup carve, and a lot of what initiates the slide is kind of like your Colemans and your pendulums and other stuff. Well, really a lot like your Coleman is like your shoulders and your hips really help control the slide. It's not a whole lot your feet. You might want to kick out on your back foot a little bit just to initiate it. Once you start feeling like your wheels should break, you just kick out a little to initiate it, but really it's your shoulders and your hips. Your hips follow your shoulders. Unlike checks where you keep this arm back, keep your back arm back. Doing this, the point of this is to keep yourself from doing a 180 and to also help you not flat spot and bring it back in. So since you're wanting to do 180, you don't go like that. You bring it forward so that your shoulders can rotate. And it's alright if you throw your hands up in the air and do whatever, because that's style. So, first progression is going to be your carving. First progression is like you're doing your Heelside carves and you're getting your wheels to chatter just a little bit, just feeling like they want to slide a little bit. First progression.
Where are you going? Oh man, toe side, toe side. Ooh, ooh.
Heelside. Then toe side, and then hold on. Heelside. Second progression is like you get the wheels to chatter, and then you rotate your shoulders and your hips along with that, like your shoulders follow your hips. It's a really fluid thing though. I mean, it's both in the shoulders and the hips. So you let go, you rotate, and you almost do 180, or you get to like 90 degrees and then you like stop or something, but you almost get it. You're close.
All right. Go. Keep going. Slow car. Setup car.
90. Oh my gosh. Third progression is oh my goodness. Boom! You do it and 180, and you're like, yes, now I'm riding switch crap. So, to get speed, I don't know, I guess 3 or 4 good pushes. 3 or 4 good pushes, at least to get a good one. But yeah, get to where you can do them faster and faster speeds. And what looks really cool is you'll find that you'll just be pivoting around your front wheels when you do a Heelside 180 going slower. What's really cool is, when you're going faster, is if you kind of slow down the rotation of your shoulders and hips so that it lengthens out the slide. It looks really cool. So instead of being like a whoosh, it's a it's pretty sweet. Okay, so guys, this is going to be something that's really awesome and will also really help you do standees just in general. It's called de-weighting, and it's really nice. De-weighting is where, unlike a Coleman or unlike glove down stuff, since you're pretty much over your board a whole lot because you don't have your hand on the ground, in order to help initiate the slide, de-weighting really helps, because what you do is you kind of squat down a little bit, maybe, whatever, and when you're in your setup carve, and right when your wheels normally are about to break, when they're normally about to release, you do kind of like a little hop where you go from your crouch into a more standing position, and what that does is it takes some of the weight off the wheels, and if you time it right, you take off the weight right when they want to break, and so that really helps you initiate the slide. And so yeah, you don't literally like hop off your board. If you can do that, that's cool though. style. But it's just like a teeny little, like, yeah, that'll help you initiate it. And let's see here. And like with Coleman's and pendulums and the other glove down things with standees, more of your weight is on top of your board. Like the center of gravity in relation to the ground is more on your board instead of over here. And that'll make your wheels want to grip up more. So what is a big factor in doing free riding and stuff is how much is, controlling how much weight is on top of the board and stuff. Because if you are leaning too far forward when you're doing standees, then you'll high side, you'll fall off your board, and that's why you wear knee pads, so you can just and not kill yourself, because that's not fun. And if you have your weight too far off the board, I can't really do that, but if your weight's too far back, you'll ice out and oh my gosh, sliding on your butt, do the Billy Bones thing. Just put your hands under your butt, you can manage. But yeah, you'll like ice out and you'll slide on your butt and you're like, oh crap, that sucks. So yeah, there's a fine line of how much weight you want over your board, and you control that weight not by your legs or how much you're moving your ankles and stuff. You do it by your torso. Like leaning back takes weight off. Leaning back takes weight off. Leaning forward puts more weight back on. And so kind of like in a squatting position or whatever, it's nice. And it's kind of hard to explain, but you'll feel how much, you'll kind of learn how much weight is right. You'll learn how much weight you need on the board, so like over it. So yeah, get used to that too, get real comfy. Free riding takes a lot of practice. You gotta do it a lot to get comfortable with it, but it's super useful and a ton of fun. All right, so switch 180s. Once you get your normal 180s down, after you do your normal 180, you're gonna be riding switch and you're like, crap, what do I do? I'm riding switch and I'm not comfortable riding like this. Fix that. Get more comfy riding with switch. Now granted, it is not required to become just as comfortable riding switch as you do in your regular stance, but that's still cool if you can do that. I mean, it's a good goal to work to. But you don't have to be totally comfortable, but it's good to become manageable in that stance. Like, get to the point to where you don't like die or freak out when you get into that stance. So yeah, once you do your regular 180, you're gonna feel like, oh man, I want to get back into my normal stance. So you can do a switch Heelside 180 or whatever. So with switch Heelside 180s, it's pretty much I pretty much just mirror what I do like doing regular 180s. Like, instead of having this foot cocked because I'm goofy, I have this foot cocked. Sometimes I just have them both slightly angled, whatever. But yeah, so you rotate this way instead of this way, and you follow your hips and you kick out with this foot a little bit. They're actually pretty fun. Now granted, I did not learn how to do carving, like switch carving, before I learned how to do Heelside 180s. Like in the Coleman video, one of the progressions was doing a Coleman like 180, and learning how to do those really helps you learn how to do Heelside 180s, because it's kind of the same thing where you have to rotate your shoulders and your hips, and that gets you used to doing this. So, good thing of advice, learn how to do Coleman Heelside 180s before standy Heelside 180s. If you feel like you can't initiate your slide, like you just can't seem to get like either all four wheels or just your back two wheels to start sliding, don't blame your wheels. Like, I know, like, it usually seems like it's your wheel's fault, but you know, this is gonna sound kind of harsh, but it's probably something that you're doing. Just keep practicing. Try different stuff. Like, try doing it slightly different ways, like cocking your foot more, or really throwing your shoulders and your hips. Try going faster. I don't know. Just try stuff. And don't blame your equipment, unless it really is like giving you crap. Then whatever. But JJ Abrams.